I'll be speaking understanding the significance of planned green spaces in mitigating climate change challenges and developing sustainable urban systems. As we all understand, you know, when we talk of environment sustainability, right? So, what is important to understand the how everything is integrated. We can't pick one aspect. We just can't pick the economic aspect or the sustainability aspect or the social aspect. We have to go in an integrated approach. So when we say environmental sustainability, so ecosystem integrity is important, carrying capacity, biodiversity. So you have to, and not only this, there are many more aspects of environmental sustainability. Along with this, the societies, the countries, they have to talk about, they have to ensure, they have to deliver, right? Growth, development. Yes, we want every country want a double-digit growth rate, right? Besides this, yes, ultimately the environmental aspects or the economic aspects, everything is targeted with people. So when we are talking of the economic growth or when we're talking of environmental sustainability, we also have to carry along the cultural identity, the empowerment to people, accessibility, stability, and equity. So it's a larger target for the societies. But here, in this particular session, I'll be talking of green spaces, particularly the public spaces. So all those public spaces which are green, so what is the significance, how important it is? They're directly helping to improve the air quality, of course, it promotes physical activity for the people around, well-being. These two aspects, well-being for the people, reduces noises, mitigating climate hazard, and benefits of social cohesion. Really, in terms of sustainable goals, SDGs, we all understand that these SDG 3, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 15, and 17. And you can just see in most of these SDGs, we are talking about the green aspects of our cities, of our habitats. Now, when we say public open space, I'm also talking about here the green space. That public open space can be anything. It can be a playground, rivers, lakes, wetlands, maybe some civic squares, public school grounds, within all the areas within the public realm. Right? And if I talk about the public spaces that are green, so it includes your parks, all kinds of gardens, sports areas, fields, streetscape. Streetscape is a very interesting thing. We know that how the streets are designed and how the streetscape is important. Nature, natural reserves, maybe public green walls, green roof, community gardens. So all these aspects in any region, particularly in urban areas, are very important. We are not having the privilege to have the large natural green areas. I'm going to share here some of the innovative projects that are happening across the globe. Let us see that innovative projects that are making cities more sustainable. Just you all must have read, we've been seeing that 70% of the world population will be in cities by 2050. And currently, we all are seeing that our cities are already feeling pressurized. Our cities are already facing depleted groundwater. Our cities are already facing the acute problems of pollution. Our cities are already facing the scarcity of various amenities, whether it is housing or it is medical or all kind of. So when our cities are already stressed, then we are expecting that by 2050, 70% of the world population would be in cities. So already stressed places, we are going to, we have the global level, we have to understand at this point that where do you plan to see down many years. United Nations Sustainable Development Goals highlight the need to ensure cities are safe and they are sustainable for all. I've just in the last slide I've shown you that many of the SDGs are directly talking about the greens and the sustainable urban areas. Around the world, cities are innovating to help tackle these challenges. All countries are trying to experiment, trying to innovate that how to manage these stress cities challenges. There are various projects, including tiny urban forests that people are talking about to combat the climate change. Sponge cities, another theme that has been talked about. Vertical forest and TARS. There are also various projects that across the globe they have been trying. With the ever increasing global population, the rising urbanization, the objective at the global level is to create safe, resilient, and sustainable cities with the green agenda at the top. I'm showing you a few of the concepts that's happening across the world. Spawn cities. Now, the scientists they feel that the global warming is increasing, and of course, we all agree to it. The likelihood of extreme weather events already it is faced, including floods, are on a very high level that the current times our cities are facing. Well, some of the cities are fighting it back. They are trying to innovate. They are trying to work it out that how it can be managed. For example, smart city concept, right? China what it has experimented in one of its projects. Concrete neighborhood are being interlaced with green spaces. So they have tried to interlace these cities, concrete areas with green spaces, which can naturally detain and filter water. So we all know we have been facing that many of our cities. We know Bombay, we've seen Chennai, we have seen last Jaipur. That how just few a little heavy rain makes our cities absolutely stormed with water. So same concept has also been employed in Singapore, which has been dubbed as Garden City because the kind of greenery that has been enhanced. So these are some of the important innovative things that across the world in the cities it has been tried. Vertical forests. Another absolute major problem with the cities is short of space. We don't have space. It is only that if the some part of the cities that are being newly developed, right? Only there you can think of part of concrete and this much part of green. But already developed sections of the cities are absolutely densely concretized places. So people in the cities have often looked up for the upward to expand. That is why we are creating skyscrapers, whether it is for residential purpose or it is for commercial purpose. So one such experiment and the project, Milan, Italy. right? What the architects have done to come up with an idea that is the vertical forest. So they have created this in two residential blocks, and they said 800 trees, 4,500 shrubs, and 15,000 plants. So they've kind of created a forest cover, an area that is size of 3.5 football pitches if planted on a ground. So they have created this kind of a vertical thing for two residential blocks. And this is what they're saying, this is what we have created. And similar projects are also being in the experiment in Switzerland, Netherlands, and China. One more kind of such project is the 20 minutes neighborhood. We know that recently COP26, a lot of climate change aspects, particularly the carbon neutrality that has been talked about. So this kind of if successfully done, right? So we can just think about if everything that makes your everything requirement of your daily routine, if it happens in the 20 minutes transport trip. So some cities are actually experimenting it. Melbourne. Melbourne is leading its way. It is creating favor. It wants that residents should always get there, whether it is a business, education, leisure, commercial, should happen within 20 minutes of the trip. In Paris, similar example, right? They are creating a prototype of for the future metropolis with 15 minutes. 15 minutes. So if countries can think that they can create a metropolitan city with this kind of a target. So I'm sure the kind of fuel consumption and the kind of what we are talking of the carbon neutrality in that direction, it would be a great step. Miniature urban forest. That's another one such innovative idea that is coming up.
Hello?
Sohini ji, please.
Springing up on the patches of land
Sorry. Yeah.
in urban areas around the world using a method inspired by Japanese temples. So it's an project that's given that the all the places, the protected areas around our shrines, whether temples, shrines, cemeteries, and such areas where huge variety of native vegetation that coexist. So, if it is developed in the right direction, then such areas, such spaces can be converted into a miniature urban forest. Because we can't think of, see, we are in a situation, the world is in a situation where initially we created cities by converting the natural forest areas into the concrete. Now we have reached to a point where we are where we are looking for that how to manage, how to now create the green spaces. Another such project, the Green Train Track. This is in the Bangkok that has been experimented, right? So as the part of regeneration project, right? It's a old railway, elevated railway line that has been, which was not in use, right? So that has been used as a city park. Well, it's a linear small area. We all understand that, but it has created an important green space for the that particular part of the cities. Smart commuting. This all we are experimenting this. We know are all Ola, Uber, right? But in Israel, what they experimented during the COVID-19 time, right? Created an app. We all are using app the app for cab services. For creating that app was targeting for creating faster, cleaner, and a convenient route, particularly to avoid the areas with more or a massive or a high risky zone for the COVID 19.